Hello, and thanks for joining. I'm Leah Silva, and together with Shelby, Rigano, and Yves Monsengo, we are a team of graduate students in Boise State's OPWL program. We're here today to share the comprehensive onboarding program we designed for St. Luke's Hospital. We know our challenge. Our traditional onboarding model won't scale with our growth. How can we consistently and effectively hire more than 150 new doctors, nurses, staff, and volunteers every year in a hybrid and multi-location working environment? To meet this need, St. Luke's requires an onboarding model that is scalable, consistent, and flexible. Our goal is to implement a program that meets those needs while supporting employees from day one. To solve this problem, we developed 4 integrated elements grounded in adult learning science: self-paced e-learning, feedback loops, mentorship, and blended workshops. Together, these elements turn onboarding from a one-time obligation into a continuous, supportive learning experience that builds confidence, competence, and connection. Our first element addresses several of our biggest challenges. These self-paced e-learning modules deliver consistent baseline orientation on relevant topics like compliance, safety, IT systems, and privacy. These modules are a scalable solution because they're accessible anytime, anywhere. They are also flexible because they give learners agency over their pace, minimizing hybrid workforce scheduling hurdles. This pacing supports learning by preventing cognitive overload and helping employees absorb complex information in manageable steps. This approach works because it is supported by learning science. Research indicates, through cognitive load theory, that people can only absorb a limited amount of information at once. Cognitive overload occurs when employees are overwhelmed with information and lose focus. Evidence shows that e-learning modules support autonomy and mastery by allowing learners to develop at their own pace. And studies suggest that chunking learning into short, concentrated sessions helps to avoid overload. Therefore, we know dividing complex topics like HIPAA into lessons on patient privacy, digital security, and everyday compliance will speed up learning and improve retention. Research from Mayer indicates that people learn better when learning materials activate the brain's auditory and visual networks simultaneously. To apply this, our modules use short, narrated demos and visual instruction rather than dense text slides. For example, demonstrating how to log into patient record systems using a narrated screen sharing session, which reduces cognitive overload and supports retention by using both words and visuals together. Research shows that adult learners are most engaged when training is self-directed, relevant, and tied to real work. So our modules are self-paced to allow learner agency and tailored to each person's actual responsibilities. Evidence also suggests that connecting training content to meaningful outcomes strengthens motivation and recall. So our modules ensure learners can always remember their why. When employees understand the purpose behind their tasks, they engage more and retain material more effectively. Overall, this model communicates respect for employees' time, expertise, and meets their need for meaningful learning. Grounded in cognitive load theory, multimedia principles, and adult learning theory, this approach will support faster, better onboarding while meeting St. Luke's need for a consistent, relevant, scalable, and flexible training solution. Our second element establishes a feedback and continuous improvement loop to ensure learning isn't a one-time event. New hires often leave initial training without enough reinforcement, coaching, or clear expectations during their first 90 days. But our structured 30, 60, and 90-day check-ins will provide clear expectations, coaching, and clear connection to work. Research supports continuous feedback as it strengthens culture, models accountability, and improves retention and proficiency. Evidence also shows that adults need competence, autonomy, and supportive relationships to stay motivated. So this model meets that need by providing opportunities for strong relationships with leaders. Lastly, the solution allows leaders to track reactions, knowledge, behavior change, and results, ensuring that learning stays measurable. How is this effective? Progress is assessed using Kirkpatrick's 4 levels of evaluation: reaction, learning, behavior, and results. At each check-in, employees are assessed on their reaction to the onboarding process, their learning, their behavior, and its effects. Our check-ins are structured around 3 research-based questions. Where am I going? How are things going? How should I proceed? Research shows that this kind of structured reflection strengthens self-awareness and helps employees analyze performance, adjust behaviors, and sustain continuous growth. Receiving feedback is a key part of reflective learning because research shows that it allows employees to compare current performance with desired outcomes and identify strategies for improvement. After performing a task, employees receive immediate feedback, which activates the neural pathways that allow the integration of short-term memory into long-term memory. Feedback must be effective. Actionable and performance-focused feedback boosts confidence and motivation and helps employees plan and apply improvements. Research supports this process in its entirety, indicating that reflecting on feedback improves the metacognitive skills needed to develop as a professional. Research shows that this progress and mastery increase engagement. With our program, St. Luke's managers provide immediate, meaningful feedback after clinical or administrative actions, helping employees to celebrate successes, address deficiencies, and plan next steps. This culture of growth over correction helps employees apply their knowledge and improve memory, self-awareness, and performance. In summary, the feedback and continuous improvement loop turns onboarding into a measurable, ongoing growth process. Through its applications of neuroscience, motivation, and reflective learning, we know that this element will keep new hires engaged, confident, and connected through their first 90 days and beyond. Our third element recognizes that people learn from each other as well as from content. After orientation, many new hires know procedures but lack confidence and understanding of workplace culture. Pairing new hires with experienced peers and mentors provides guidance, modeling, and social learning. Research shows that mentors demonstrate technical skills, communication, and cultural norms, helping new employees internalize both behaviors and values. Structured buddy programs have also been shown to improve engagement and retention. This design is grounded in Vygotsky's social learning theory, which research shows helps adults learn through interaction, collaboration, and shared problem solving. In our program, mentors act as more knowledgeable others, guiding new hires just beyond their current abilities through the zone of proximal development, or ZPD. In this zone, employees can tackle challenges they cannot yet manage alone, but can accomplish with guided support. Mentors provide feedback, model tasks, and scaffold learning, helping new hires progress from observation to independent mastery. Over time, this approach builds autonomy, confidence, and practical skills. For example, a new nurse shadowing a mentor during patient rounds learns communication, judgment, and teamwork through real-world participation rather than abstract instruction. Social learning research by Bendora supports our peer buddy and mentorship program, showing that new hires can learn from mentors' successful conduct, and that watching credible role models helps employees internalize technical steps and interpersonal tone. Research also shows that humans learn behavior through observation and modeling, which acts as a guide for action. In our program, new recruits learn behaviors and emotional norms by, for example, watching a mentor handle a delicate patient interaction or a scheduling dispute. Lev and Wenger's situated learning theory describes learning as situated in authentic work contexts, where knowledge is co-created through participation. Research shows that this dialogue, modeling, and reflection helps adults learn and transfer skills into real performance. In our program, new hires move toward full participation by engaging in real workplace practices. For example, a nurse shadowing a senior colleague during patient rounds observes decision-making, empathy, and teamwork in action. In closing, the Peer Buddy and Mentorship program will bring a human element to onboarding and ground learning in real relationships. Drawing on social learning and motivational theory, it strengthens both skill development and a sense of belonging. With guided support and real-world exposure, new hires can move confidently from simply understanding the job to actually doing it. This foundation prepares them for the hands-on learning they'll continue in the blended workshops and practice simulations, ensuring a smoother transition, stronger confidence, and a more connected start at St. Luke's. New hires at St. Luke's often finish orientation feeling informed but unprepared to perform tasks safely and effectively. This knowing-doing gap can lead to errors and uncertainty. Hands-on workshops and simulations provide realistic, low-risk practice to develop technical skills and teamwork. Employees experience tasks, receive immediate feedback, and repeat until proficient, with research supporting this approach. Our programming closes the knowing-doing gap and builds confidence for high-pressure situations. This element is supported by Kolb's experiential learning theory, which explains that adults learn through a continuous cycle of experience, reflection, conceptualizing ideas, and experimenting. Learning is continuously gleaned from and modified by real experiences. Our program reflects this by allowing new hires to step into realistic tasks, pause for guided debriefing and reflection, connect those insights to underlying principles, and then try again with improved approaches. Research also supports the use of meaningful practice or targeted repetition with specific feedback, specifically designed to improve the current level of performance. Our simulation-based seminars allow employees to practice critical activities, receive individualized coaching, and repeat the activity until they master it. Through experiential learning and purposeful practice, these seminars help employees go from knowledge to action faster, eliminate early performance errors, and prepare for real-world responsibilities. This element is also based in Skinner's reinforcement-based behavior development. Research shows that positive consequences strengthen behavior, with immediate reinforcement improving the subject's confidence in completing that task. Learning isn't just external. Neuroscience shows that the brain strengthens links between actions and results, making it easier for the brain to predict the outcome of certain behaviors. Research refers to these internal structures as mental models. These are the maps that allow us to act correctly and confidently under pressure. In our simulations, regular practice and immediate feedback help learners create these mental models and acquire reflective habits that make later feedback feel like learning, not failure. These mental models are crucial in fast-paced and high-risk healthcare. Through realistic yet low-risk practice, personnel develop the patterns needed to make quick, precise decisions when it matters most. This program component assumes that clear, supportive structure helps people learn. Research shows that effective learning requires attention, guidance, and reinforcement. Just a few of Gagne's 9 events of instruction show us how to deliberately arrange learning environments to achieve goals. Our workshops begin with real case examples to engage everyone and support participants throughout simulations so employees know what to focus on, ending with feedback and reflection to help them apply what they learned. Evidence supports that watching a demonstration before practicing improves learning and that adults are engaged when learning applies to their work. Motivation also matters. Research shows people are motivated when their attention is sparked, the training is relevant to their goals, they believe they can succeed, and the experience provides meaningful results. St. Luke's simulations are designed around these structures to keep employees engaged, build confidence, and master complex procedures in a supportive, realistic environment. Blended workshops and practice simulations are practical and will make onboarding at St. Luke's engaging and performance-driven. By combining experiential learning, deliberate practice, behavioral reinforcement, and motivational design, new hires will build both technical skills and self-confidence in delivering safe, effective patient care. Our onboarding approach integrates evidence-based e-learning, mentorship, workshops, and feedback loops, creating a scalable, lasting, supportive, and practical learning experience. This approach fosters a learning culture that supports new hires from day one, helping them gain confidence, competence, and connection as they perform work-related tasks and adapt to our growing hybrid workforce. Thank you for your time and partnership in supporting the evolution of St. Luke's workforce.